help for me was when I was in college. You can only cope so long, and then you need help. And so it got to a point in college where I was, I remember the moment actually. I had hair then. My hair was this big. It's just like Stephanie was just saying. My beard was this big, and my goal was to see if I had the courage to give myself a haircut. And I remember being so sick from rumination that I could not physically stand. I wasn't physically ill. I was so ill from rumination that I had to hold myself up against the wall to not fall. That's how bad things were. And then something else happened. My psychiatrist, who is a brilliant man, overprescribed me anafranil and Prozac, and I had a massive seizure. Anyway, the point is, I left college. And when I got home, I had to rebuild my life, right? I had nothing. I was on the couch in New Jersey, right 8 miles away from where I sit. And I started reading the OCD newsletter. And there was an article by a man who is currently practicing in central Manhattan. And he's a cognitive behavior therapist. And I read this article and it was different. He was saying things in a way that was different. And I knew what he meant. And so I started seeing this guy, and cognitive behavior therapy was the first step in getting out of the deepest levels of hell, right? Because as Stephanie's saying, things build over time. There's lots of problems. There's no magic. It's not a pill. It's a journey of health and growth. Just like Stephanie said, it's a slow journey out of hell, 1 inch at a time. So the first step was cognitive behavior therapy. And in doing what I did here was I learned how to not ruminate and to basically learn how to cope with my fears and my terror and my very calm, just like Stephanie said. I'm nodding everything she's saying because our story's different, but it's the same in many ways. It's unmanageable. So I stopped ruminating, that was my job every day. And then you have to cope with your fears. And then you have to get back into life. You have to get your ass off the couch. When I was hospitalized once for 45 days, it was right here in White Plains, one of my visits. There was a guy named Mike. I was there for 45 days. He got out of bed once for 3 minutes in 45 days. So getting out of bed, these kinds of things, these pragmatic steps combined with help are the key. You have to get out of bed. You have to force yourself. When I dropped out of school, I found another college, don't care what it was. Found a job folding clothes, don't care what it is. You've got to get out of bed. You've got to get help. This is how you start the process out of hell. This is the basic idea. Along the way, and I'm not going to keep yapping here because I want to move on, but along the way, these things, because I was born with a genetic propensity for many problems, once I started doing CBT and getting healthy, other problems didn't just disappear. Other things happen in life that aren't supposed to happen. And then things aren't supposed to happen that are supposed to happen. And you got to deal with them. And things got very bad again. But again, you don't give up. There is hope. You have to get help. That's part of what NAMI is all about. It's a place to get help. You have to get help. It's too hard. So when you get help, you stick with your work, with your therapist, your support, your friends, your peers. You call NAMI, you get help, you get your ass out of bed, and you stay busy. And you do the best you can 1 day at a time. Just like the Alcoholics Anonymous. I've done that kind of work. I don't have a problem with alcoholism, but I know their philosophy, and it's the good one. Do your best today. Don't drink today. You don't have to conquer the world. You don't even have to become a glorious superhero. Don't drink today. So when you're struggling with mental illness, go to work. Get out of bed. Don't ruminate. Whatever you're working on with your friends, with your family, with your therapist, that's your job today. So that's how you get better. 1 grain of sand at a time. It's very much what Stephanie was saying. It's different things, same philosophy. Thank you. Stephanie?